This question is from Spaghetti-O Guy, right? Dear Misty, I've become very interested in high heels ever since the first Halloween I did drag. I find myself looking up costumes and shoes many months before the next Halloween. My question to you is, how do you know drag is what you want to do? Wow, that's a good question. I never wanted to do drag. I never made a conscious effort to do drag. That being said, I kind of feel like I was born to do drag. I know it's very confusing. In high school, I sang all through high school in the praise and worship team at my church, also in choir and, you know, performance areas. I've done many on-stage solo ensembles, like in Indianapolis, Indiana, and solo ensemble competitions, and I've always been a performer. In high school and college, I did music in college too, but mostly in college I focused on acting and drama ministry, and therefore still performing. And when you're a drama and television film major, especially at a Christian college, they force you to take Makeup 101 your first year, because if you're going to do plays, you might not always have a makeup artist, and therefore you're going to need to know how to do old age and how to do reconstructive and, you know, beauty makeup, and how to transform your face through highlight and shadow. And so I took makeup classes. I grew up with 4 sisters. I did their hair all growing up, you know, French braiding and, you know, just helping them get ready for school as like a maternal figure of my family. Still not even knowing I wanted to do drag. I guess during my senior year of college, I decided to stop fighting my homosexuality and just accept it. Long story short, I talk about it in another video, I think, but It Gets Better video, I think I talk about it, where a minister basically told me that God created me in his image and blah, blah, blah. I started to accept my gayness and started going to gay bars. And I became friends with a drag queen, and I was amazed by it. At the time in the club, I saw, my first drag show I ever saw, Kenny Phillips. Oh my god, he was so beautiful, and he did cartwheels, and he was sexy. And Katili Love. Oh my god, she was so beautiful and sexy, and she danced so pretty, and a part of me wanted to be her, but I never wanted to be a drag queen, if that makes sense. And I became friends with a drag queen named Erica Shea, who everyone called Red, because she always dyed her hair red, but she was very tall and skinny and just sexy. And she didn't do drag very often, but we became very good friends, and I would often crash at her house so that I wouldn't have to, and her roommates, Tony and, can't remember the other one's name, Tandy. Tony and Tandy and Erica, I used to stay at their house. And they did drag off and on. They were really good at it, but they weren't hired by bars. They just did drag on occasions. Well, Erica was like, oh my god, you're such a good lip syncer. Like, just playing around with like whatever's on the radio. And she's like, you need to do drag. I'm like, no, 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 no. I don't want to do drag. And I lost a bet. And she's like, if you lose the bet, you have to do drag for Halloween. I'm going to put you in drag. And at the time, I didn't realize that I knew how to do hair and makeup. It was something that I did for other people, but I never really did for myself. Except for boy makeup for plays. And I did drag for Halloween, and I couldn't believe how beautiful I was. Which is funny because I was actually rotted. But I was so beautiful that I wanted to do drag again. So I did drag for like 3 Halloweens in a row. And then at the 3rd Halloween, somebody came up to me and was like, can you help perform at a benefit? We're raising money for whatever. We would like your help, blah, blah. And I was like, absolutely. So I started becoming a charity performer. And that's how I started. It just kind of all clicked. You know, the first time I ever did drag, somebody else did my makeup. The second time I did it myself. And I did my own hair, and I did my own everything. And it all just kind of came together. Like, wow, I know what I'm doing. I wasn't perfected, I wasn't polished, but I was already a big step ahead of other people that had just started. And it just kind of fell into place. For you, how do you know that you want to do drag? I think with anything, in the olden days, you didn't get to choose your calling. I think you were born into it, meaning if you were the son of a shoemaker, you were a shoemaker. If you were the son of a politician, you were a politician. If you were the son of a blacksmith, you were a blacksmith. But nowadays, I think that if you have a unique desire to paint, you can be a painter. And if you have a unique desire to do drag, you can do drag. It's harder because you don't have, you know, your built-in mentorship with your parents, but you can be anything you want to be. And I think that drag is one of the hardest things to get into. It's one of the hardest because your first several years, all you're doing is trying to get respect, meaning you're not going to get paid to perform, you're not, you know, going to be taken seriously, you're going to be ugly, you know, like, it just takes a while, and you're going to spend lots of money on hair and makeup and shoes and eyelashes and clothes before you start making money. And it's very difficult. So if you don't have the calling, actually, in my opinion, if you're even asking the question, you probably have the calling. But if you don't, I would say go ahead and try it and see how it works out. If it doesn't, just do it for Halloween. Just do it for Halloween, just do it for Gay Pride, and just do it for, there's always something else going on that people want to do drag for. It's Halloween, Gay Pride, and birthday parties, I guess, or Christmas parties. You know, just do a party drag if you don't think you have what it takes to be a real drag. But there's nothing wrong with playing dress up. Gay men, I think, have an extra creative fantasy side to them that straight men don't have. Why not tap into it? Maximize it. Own it. Loving you is easy.